Bishop George Johnson with your midday motivation.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
Mark chapter 2, verses 1 through 12, a story of a paralyzed man who had one goal, one vision, one thing he wanted to accomplish in life, and that was to walk. He assembled a team of 4 and himself made 5, and they began to journey to where Jesus was. When they got there, they cannot get near Jesus because there's a crowd on the inside of the house. There's a crowd on the outside of the house, and they're blocking every entrance. They devise a plan to climb on top of the roof, and when they get on top of the roof, they tear a hole in the roof. They lower the paralyzed man in front of Jesus. Jesus says, and when they saw their faith. The Bible says, and when they saw their faith, listen what happened. Here's the next nugget that's going to take you to the next level in your life. Here's the next thing that's going to take your dream from here to here. Here's the thing. Here's the one thing you've been missing. The Bible says, when Jesus saw their faith, listen what he did. He released an instruction. You got to get that. He released an instruction. What do you mean, Jesus? I mean, I've been walking all this way. I got dressed early in the morning to come meet you. I climbed on top of the roof. I fought through a crowd. I tore a hole in the roof. And now I'm standing here at the point of my manifestation, and you release an instruction. Listen what Jesus said. Arise, take up your bed, and walk. That's all he said. Arise, take up your bed, and walk. Wait a minute, Jesus. You mean to tell me I fought through a crowd, I went through all of this stuff, I fought everybody, I tore a hole in the roof to stand in front of you, and you released an instruction to me that my team could have said to me. You could have said this to me in the parking lot. You could have said this to me years ago. Somebody could have spoke this to me, but here I am at the point of my manifestation. Here I am at the point of my destiny. And you release an instruction so simple, and he simply said, arise, take up your bed, and walk. The paralyzed man did not question the instruction. He simply obeyed. That's where the have and the have-nots. That separates the winners from the losers. That separates the ones that say I can and the ones that say I can't. They simply make up in their mind that they're going to follow the instructions. Let me ask you a question. Are you following the instruction that God gave you, or are you giving him a resume of excuses on why it cannot work? Listen, this man had every excuse in the book. He could have told Jesus, when Jesus said, arise, take up your bed and walk, he could have said, Jesus, my legs still feel the same. Jesus, I came in here on a cart. Don't you see I cannot walk? Jesus, we don't have this. Jesus, I don't have that. He could have gave Jesus every excuse, but he simply obeyed the instruction. Let me ask you a question. Are you obeying the instruction that God told you to do, or are you giving him an excuse? God, I don't have enough money. God, I don't look pretty enough. God, I'm not good enough. God, they don't like me. God, this is not working out. God, folks walked out on me. God, I'm facing a divorce. God, don't you see I'm facing bankruptcy? God, I don't have enough money. God, I don't have God. Are you giving God excuses, or are you following the instruction? I'm going to close with a story. Years ago, I was at my aunt's house, and as I would begin to leave, I began to put the car in reverse, and I began to back out. And as I was backing out, the car was going in, and it would not move. It would not move because I had the parking brake on. When I looked at the dashboard, I saw a big red light that said parking brake on. That's what happens when people are chasing their goal, when they're chasing their dreams, when they're chasing the instruction that God tells them to do, instead of them doing like this paralyzed man and just jumping in with every fiber of their being. They're giving God an excuse. Well, maybe it's not that time. Or maybe I might need to wait. Or maybe later. Or maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's for somebody else. Maybe I'll wait next year. Maybe I'll wait the year after that. Let me ask you a question. Are you smart, Or are you foolish? The graveyard is full of a lot of smart people, but it's not full of a lot of foolish people who dare to believe, to obey the instruction. One of my favorite scriptures says this: he'll take the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. God bless you.